The views expressed on the following program do not necessarily represent those of this station or its management.
It's time now for Where You Live with Gene Sullivan, the show that deals with the news and events that affect you the most. Whether you rent or own, live in an HOA, single-family home, or an apartment building, Gene will tackle the issues right where you live. So, from the True North Painting Studios, here is the original man of steel, Resolve himself, who stands for truth, justice, and the association way. Here's Gene Sullivan.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Where You Live. I'm Gene Sullivan, and I'm broadcasting from the True North Painting Studios. When you're looking for the right painting contractor, what do you look for? Isn't it someone who will respect you, your time, your property, and your budget? That's what you can expect from True North Painting. Find out more about this exceptional company by going online at truenorthpainting.com. That's trunorthpainting.com, or give them a call at 952-831-1433. I'm also brought to you by the great folks at Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. And as I do every week, I also want to give a shout out to the man who makes it happen, who's at the boards, Christopher Wyatt Earp Huberty. How are you, Chris?
I'm good, Gene. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I don't know if I told you. Did you know that I became a grandfather for the first time recently?
I found that out, or I think it was expecting last time I talked to you.
Yes. And so, yeah, it's wonderful. As a matter of fact, later today, I'm going to be getting together with my son-in-law and my son, and we're getting together to smoke a cigar and to be able to celebrate the birth of our first grandchild. And it's going to be great. I got these. It was a great gift that I got last February when my daughter and son-in-law wanted to let us know that they were pregnant and they were expecting this child. Her name's Taylor. And but then what they did for my birthday is they gave me this gift of what's called a man bouquet. Do you know what a man bouquet is?
I don't, but it sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's sort of a ceramic potted pot, and it had sticks sticking out of it, and it had my favorite cigars and my favorite adult beverages of choice, and there was a man bouquet. So I saved a couple of those cigars just for after the birth of our grandchild that we were going to get together, and that is tonight.
Very
We're
cool.
getting together with to enjoy that and to celebrate. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, congratulations.
Well, thanks. Well, hey, we've got a lot to cover on today's show. So without further ado, let's begin with property management in the news. Furniture and Abbey Floor Coverings. Their showrooms are staffed with professionals who will help you choose what you need to fit both your lifestyle and budget. Whatever you need, chances are they'll have what you're looking for. If you wish to avail yourself of special pricing you won't find anywhere else, all Where You Live listeners can call Customer Service Coordinator Lori Mattson at 952-224-2663. Our first story is something that if you're living in a homeowners association, you will want to know what is going on about some pending legislation that could really be a game changer for those of you living in an HOA. And I'm happy to have on the show with me today, she is the Senior Vice President of Government and Public Affairs for CAI, Community Associations Institute. We have Dawn Bauman on the line. Hi, Dawn.
Hi, Gene. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for taking some time to be on the show today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Now, a lot of people, I don't know if you get this, but I know that being a member of CAI, there are people that get that confused a lot and call it CIA. Do you get people that mix those letters around?
We do hear that. That's why we try to call it the Community Associations Institute as much as possible, so that we can keep it clear.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess, but the headquarters for CAI is not that far away from the headquarters of the CIA. You're both in Virginia and only about 6 miles apart.
You're right. I was just going to say just less than 10 miles apart. You're right. But we represent the community associations, homeowner associations, condominiums around the country and around the world.
Yeah. And so there is some important legislation that at this point is just being proposed, and it is H.R. Bill 4969. Can you tell our listeners a little bit, what is this bill about?
Yes. H.R. 4969, it was introduced in June. Representative Kinzinger with the House of Representatives introduced this bill. It would basically, it asks the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, to extend private use restrictions to amateur radio users, ham radio users, the hobbyists who use the ham radios, extend them private land use restrictions so that they won't have to go through the covenant and architectural review process to install towers or antennas to use their ham radios in their communities. So they would bypass all of the restrictions in their community by this, if this law were to take place and the Federal Communications Commission were to do what they're asked to do.
So instead of saying that here we have a property that's shared by a number of homeowners equally, instead of allowing them to have the ability to decide for themselves what they will and will not accept, they have this private contractual agreement that they all agreed to. Nobody held a gun to their head when they purchased a home in an HOA. But now we're being told that there's some people in Congress that feels that it is reasonable to make an accommodation for them, even if other people would be concerned about this, right? That's
correct. That is, you stated that perfectly.
So for some of our listeners who aren't in HOAs, let's talk a little bit about why is this something that is egregious and something that HOAs probably won't really like.
Yes, I'd be happy to do that. So when you buy, I'll kind of start with the beginning. When a homeowner buys into a community association, into a homeowner association or condominium, they're buying into a community with deed restrictions, and those restrictions have some covenants and some rules that the individual homeowner needs to comply with, so that these rules are established to protect the value, to protect the aesthetics of the community. So an individual buying into a community, they know those rules when they're buying in. In most states around the country, in the majority of the states around the country, there is a requirement by law that the individuals need to be delivered a copy of those, the rules and regulations, before they close on their home, so that they understand the rules before they own their home. And those rules will likely include things like installation of antennas, towers, things like that could create an aesthetic compromise in a community.
Sure.
Or a technological compromise as well. So if this law were to go into place, what H.R. 4969, what that says is any state law that says you guys can elect homeowners in your community to the board of directors in your community to establish rules and enforce rules in your community, and allow the rules to be created by neighbors for neighbors. Instead of that, the federal government would say, except if you're a ham radio user and that's one of your hobbies, and you feel like you want to put a 70-foot tower up, that's